So where we're going?
We are going to Asheville, North Carolina to see the Biltmore Estate.
So we're on the road again.
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
Howdy, how y'all doing? This is Travel Comber and I'm hoping you guys are having a great day. Here we are driving down this quaint, scenic road, going to a place called the Biltmore. Well, what's the Biltmore? Biltmore is America's largest home and built by George Vanderbilt. We're going to take a tour, so come join us. Right after this quick introduction. If you get early enough to the Biltmore, there's some parking lots that you can actually walk to the house. If not, there's some trolleys you have to take. And you need to read the signs, which you can bring in and bring out. For example, you can only bring in small bags. Can't take your dog. You can't smoke. Can't eat. And more important, you can't take your firearms. So let's go ahead and do our walk and head over to the Biltmore. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a cafe down there, place to buy drinks, and even gift shop to buy goodies. So let's go spend money. Okay, we're approaching Biltmore Estates here in North Carolina, and we're here as a chance to be able to see some history and some Vanderbilt history. One of the richest men in the world. This is it's just his grandson, and he built this huge house that we're going to see in about 2 seconds. And for what it's worth, it's only for 3 people. Smile.
Okay.
Smile.
You can't see I'm wearing a mask. Take your mask off. Go outside. Remember, you gave me that.
Welcome to the Biltmore Resort. It's not really a resort. It's a big second house. This has 200 how many rooms?
250.
250 some rooms. 3 people lived in it. We got tons of people visiting it. We got 3 people in my family visiting it. Have a great day. Though it's a 3-person family, they had a lot of staff living in there. I get all my facts wrong, and that's okay. We're going down these steps. Kill yourself, so it's better to be on the edge. Just have to have some fun here. Enjoy the little trip. Enjoy the little bit of video, because we can't take videos in the house. We can only take pictures. So this is the time to do it. Today, Biltmore still is owned and operated under the George Vanderbilt mission of preservation through self-sufficiency. That means what you pay helps pay for that estate. A philosophy embraced before the first stone was ever placed. There you go.
Right there. You could. I'm not going to, but you could. Some secret garden stuff.
Secret garden. We need to go down a layer. We got some cherubs to see. Let's see what the cherubs have to say. Hello, Mr. Cherub. Welcome to the beautiful ponds. What did the one cherub say to the other cherub about Biltmore? How heavenly. Walking around the gardens, you will always find a place to take a picture of the one you care about. Take a minute and look at the views. Holy smoke. The Biltmore House was designed by architect Richard Morris Hunt, and it's America's largest home, spanning 175,000 square feet, which is more than 4 acres of floor space. In comparison, the American football field is only a mere 57,600 square feet. Whoa, we can fit 3 of those in there?
On here.
The Garden Railway is a little model train system that runs through the conservatory. A must-see, especially if you have young children and old adults like me that like trains. While you're at Biltmore, you get to stroll through acres and acres of these formal and informal gardens designed by America's foremost landscape architect, Frederick Law Olmsted. You know, he's considered a genius. He brought in these formal beauties of the Italian gardens. Biltmore's lush landscape is a living tribute to Olmsted's genius. And they keep it up today. Do you realize they have over 250 varieties of American roses? Well, that alone is worth a visit. Off to the conservatory. The Fesser with a wrench. That's my guess. Those that have been playing Clue might ask yourself, well, what is a conservatory? Well, it's a room with a glass wall, maybe a glass roof, and it basically can be inside of a house, but can also be used as a greenhouse or a sun parlor. In this case, I'm pretty sure the conservatory here at the Biltmore is a greenhouse.
Hold water, yeah.
You know there's like in the wild there like frog lives in there. Plants his little castle.
Just imagine yourself entering into this luxury home full of tropical plants that delight your senses, such as smell and vision. Large plants as large as 40-foot palms to the little tiny cacti that's out there. You can see orchids and blooming of flowers. It's just amazingly beautiful. When you're going through, there's several rooms you go through. There's the orchid room. Get that camera ready. The hot house, the cold house. From spring to late summer, there's also that Biltmore Garden Railroad on display. Also, when you're looking around, there's these small-scale replicas of the estate structures. This is pretty cool because you see them in the conservatory, and when you're driving around after you tour the house, you say, oh, I saw that building. Oh, I saw that building conservatory. It's pretty fun. Okay. No looking, no touching. Just out we go. We're going to head up to the Biltmore. Biltmore was a pioneer of sustainable land practices back in 1895. And we should do that today. There's a long operation process of field-to-table program, which really deals with growing your food and eating it. Biltmore was also credited for the birthplace of American forestry.
Whoa, what's under it?
When we look at the Biltmore, it's based off the French residence chateaus. Now, the chateaus were developed in France after the 13th and 14th century, based off the castle and structures arranging for defense rather than residence. Later, the term came to design any seigneurial residence, and so generally a country house or any pretensions of a country house is what we're looking at. But kind of notice the structure of being, for defense, a castle structure-like residence. Our Biltmore house tour began at that front vestibule. We're going to enter into the main hall, head to the corridor, and look at the winter garden. From the vestibule, you go into the entrance hall. This is a grand space that welcomes you into Biltmore House. To the left is a glass-roofed room called the winter garden. This glass allows illumination of the fountain sculpture Boys Stealing Geese by Carl Bitter. Through this house, you'll see a lot of beautiful reliefs. past those reliefs and off to the billiard room. I'm saying Miss Scarlet with the knife. What about you? As my daughter explained here, in this billiard room, house guests played dominoes, billiards, and enjoyed refreshments in a richly paneled room. The custom oak billiard tables were made in 1895. As we leave the billiard room, we go into the banquet hall, and for its clue players, I'm going to call it the dining room. But there's several dining rooms in this house. Looking around and seeing all those stuffed deer heads, I'm going to say Colonel Mustard with the revolver. What is your choice? But this is an impressive room with a 7-story high ceiling and Flemish tapestry from the mid-15th centuries that has scenes of evening parties and celebration. George Vanderbilt liked to, show off a little bit. He liked to illustrate how great his wines were and have music entertainment, and he would serve a 10-course dinner. The dinner would last for hours. And then into the next dining room, the breakfast room. Guests of the Vanderbilts were served both breakfast and lunch here. Portraits, a lot of them, including Cornelius Commander Vanderbilt, George Vanderbilt's grandfather, who was the founder of all the fortune.
That's crazy.
Take a good look. There are 2 Père Augustus Renoir paintings, Young Algerian Girl and Child with an Orange. Good chance to see some great art. And now we're moving into the salon. The lounge. Mr. Green with the pipe. Good choice. This room is a formal sitting room under the French style. As we move into the music room, what a beautiful room. I can see a lot of entertainment happening here. To the right of the fireplace are a rare collection of 12 Meissen porcelain apostle figures and 12 candlesticks. Leaving the music room, we walked out onto the loggia. This is a covered room offered memorizing views of Biltmore Deer Park and the Blue Ridge Mountains beyond. Take a few minutes to take some good photographs. The Vanderbilts would enjoy this delightful outdoor space overlooking their beautiful countryside. So did we. As we moved back into the building, we went to the library. I'm looking around. I think it's Mrs. Peacock with the candlestick. But this room is also a testament of George Vanderbilt's passion for books. It contains over 22,000 books, ranging from American English fiction, world history, religion, philosophy, art, and even architecture. Look up and admire the Charlotte of Aurora, painted in the 1720s by Italian artist Giovanni Pellegrini. Now we're heading into the tapestry gallery. I want to call this the ballroom because it's the big enough room to have a ball in it. It's 90 foot long. It has Flemish tapestries on the wall as part of a 1530 set known as the Triumph of the Seven Virtues. They represent charity, faith, and providence. Before you leave the room, note the oval frame portrait of Edith Vanderbilt by Whistler. Is that Whistler's mother? Not. Up these grandeur stairs to the second floor living hall. Artist John Singer Sargent visited Biltmore in 1895 to paint Hunt on the left, a favorite architect of Vanderbilt, and of course Olmsted on the right, the designer of his garden. This living hall leads to Mr. Vanderbilt's bedroom, featuring of gilded wall coverings and 17th century Portuguese Boresque furnitures. What a beauty. Look at his closet to see his early 19th century version of fashionable wear. Joining Mr. and Mrs. Vanderbilt's bedrooms is the oak sitting room. I'm going to call this the study. Mrs. White with the rope, and we should be at the end of the game. And off to Mrs. Vanderbilt's bedroom. Looking inside. Wait, ooh, is that Mrs. White? No, the representation of Mr. Vanderbilt. Purple and gold silk fabric and furnishing in the Louis XV style decorates her oval room with a richly painted ceiling. Off on the tour to the guest retreats. Third floor living hall, the third floor hallways, the Louis XIV hallway, the Desmark room, Claude's room, toilet chimney room, and then finally the Louis XV room, where Edith Vanderbilt chose this room to give birth to her daughter,
Cornelia. And now through the scary stone hallway. Here you can see one of the foundation walls. This dark hallway leads us to the most scariest room, the Halloween room. The ghosts are about. Could it be the Honorable John Francis Amherst Cecil? He married Cornelia Vanderbilt. They spent a week painting these wall scenes for a New Year's Eve party. Not much about Halloween, but it is a party. And there is a black cat and a scary lady. Stepping out of that haunted Halloween room, they go right into the bowling alley. House guests enjoyed one of the National's first bowling alleys in a private residence. It just looks fun. I love to bowl. Off through the changing room and straight to the pool. It's a 70,000-gallon indoor pool that was heated, and it still has its underwater lighting. The unique tile vaulting was designed by an architect, Raphael Gassavino. Let's get changed and go take a dip. Right out of the pool area is the gymnasium, keeping fit, healthy, were popular pastimes at the beginning of the 20th century. And also showers, they're called needle baths, and they were, well, equivalent to the modern day shower massage. We got to go through the servants' domain. We got to look at some of the kitchens, especially the main kitchen. Most of the prep work and the cooking occurs under the direction of a chef, who holds one of the most important staff positions in the house. Of course, food is always first. We ended up our tours at the bachelor's wing, kind of hitting out the vestibule out in that area. We got to see the smoking room, the gun room, and the bachelor's wing hallway before we left. And as we left, we hopped in the car and drove down to the village. That's a different video. Wait for that one. Thank you for joining our morning with us. It's been a pleasure going through this tour. It's been a fun activity, and I really did enjoy. The cost was about $76 per person, and it was on a Sunday. I would just suggest coming early before the crowds come, so you have really the place to yourself. Do me a favor and subscribe. It's free. Hit the notification bell if you like this content. And give me that thumbs up, because it was a fun activity. Have a great day. And this is the Travel Comber signing off.